Enterprise, and we actually met probably about a week or two ago, and the subject came on about philanthropy, and I was just like, that is going to be the next show. So the art of giving, and Thanksgiving's coming up soon. It's actually just, I mean, I think Canada just had Thanksgiving, which they have it on a Monday. I didn't even know that.
Well, they probably look at us and go, we have Thursday.
I know. Well, it's funny because I was talking to someone from Canada, and they were like, yeah, what are you doing on Thursday? I'm like, because we take Friday off.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, that makes sense. But they have Monday, and I guess that's a recovery day, but my friends were having a celebration on Monday, so yesterday they were having a great time. And you're actually live now. You should show Ed as well and have a fun show here. But, okay, so Shasta, you have events coming up. You have the Philanthropy Bug, you're a mom, you're in the financial world. Give us a little bit more of why you got into this and what's making a difference in the world right now for you.
Well, I actually started off in insurance, believe it or not, and it's actually been just a natural progression. When I first got out of high school, I went to Merritt College. Changed a couple of times now. I think it's Kaplan College.
Right.
But I got my certification in medical administrative insurance specialist. So I was doing prior authorizations and referrals. And then I got into auto and home insurance. And then
auto.
That's mandatory. Everybody needs to have auto and home insurance.
That's why I like it.
Yeah. And then I met someone, a securities lawyer, and I had just graduated with my psychology degree, and I was just talking with him about, some of my aspirations, and he thought that I would be good in financial services. I never thought about it. I never considered it. I didn't even think it was like in alignment in my path. And I've been in the business for 3 years now, and so I got real proficient in life insurance education because I started to understand the need and the reason why life insurance was so important. And then now I'm working on getting my Series 7 and 66 license to be an investment advisor.
That's pretty serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how much studying are you going to be doing?
A lot. A lot of studying.
So far above.
Yeah, it's a lot of studying. It's a lot. But I like it.
And it's funny because you said life insurance, and I remember that being such a heavy subject for most people. Like, you really have to talk about things that people don't want to talk about. Yeah, they're just like...
So I try to make it fun, right? Because we should be excited about our future. And, we all know that it's, a part of life. Like, if we don't know, if we're acting like it doesn't exist, then we're living in delusion. And so trying to make it exciting, because I think that we should be excited to prepare for our future and for our children's future. So I'm really just trying to, bring life insurance down to, common level, because it's something that we all should have. We're all living life. And even if we don't have kids, there's some people who want to give back, and that's a way to give back through life insurance. And, just not to be a burden on anyone, essentially.
How do you start it to be something fun? It's something that's so
heavy.
Yeah.
So, for me, I think people don't understand life insurance, first of all. They look at it as death insurance, right? They're just like, it's going to be there just for after I die. Like, who cares about that? Like, I'm not going to be here. I don't want to worry about it. But there's actually some great components to life insurance for people who are alive. And so trying to bring that education out to the forefront so people can understand that this is something that we need, while we're alive as well. It's not just for when we pass away for our loved ones.
So when the education comes, do you have that? Is it like usually a family affair, or is it just something usually with the dad or the mom? Is it a single family? Like, how do you really do that so that it's actually incorporating all the thoughts?
So now, since I've been in the industry, it's just like one of my topics of conversation. I'm always just talking about it, I just bring it up, and people are like, oh my God, did you just ask me if I have life insurance? And I'm just like, well, yeah, you have kids or you're married, and people think that you can wait for life insurance, and you really can't wait. You have to get it as soon as you can. And so the people who want life insurance are the people who can't get life insurance. Those are the people that are calling like, I need to get life insurance. And they have some medical condition, or they have something in their background where they cannot get life insurance any longer. And so it's trying to get people to understand there's no reason to wait. It gets more expensive as we get older. And if we come up with any type of debilitating disease or illness, you can't get insured. So, you might as well just lock it in and get it while you can.
So it's being prepared ahead of time. So do you find that families, like children's will do it, the father, everyone in the family will do it? And obviously the younger you are, the healthier you are, the cheaper it's going to be. So why not get it at that time?
Yeah, so a lot of people, they kind of feel like it's like taboo to talk about putting life insurance on their children, right? They're just like, I don't want to think about having to put life insurance on my children. I'm just like, just think about it. It's a newborn baby. You can get like $1 million worth of coverage for like $400 a year.
Mm-hmm.
And you might as well just go ahead and get it, and it's locked in forever at that rate. And that's something that you can hand over to your child when they turn 25 of age, and they can begin to manage it from there. So it's just education at this point. People don't understand how it works. They're not thinking about it because they think they have time. And it's just kind of bringing it down to their level of understanding. It's an emotional buy. For me, being in the business, I kind of see it as logical because I'm very caring and I want to leave a legacy for my kids. But it is an emotional buy for most people. They have to have their heartstrings tugged on to really just pull the trigger, to get it going.
I've got to tell you that, speaking from experience, I've experienced a death of a child. And so when my next child was born, I got life insurance on that child. And all our kids have it now. But I remember telling my friend about it. He was just blown away, like, well, that seems kind of selfish. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. The expense I went through, first of all, when my child passed away. I mean, I'm not talking about the emotional stuff, but just the financial burden was huge. And if I would have had life insurance, and I realized that when my grandmother passed away and she had her life insurance, it was so easy. All I did was turn in all the stuff and it was all paid. I didn't do anything. They took everything out of the life insurance. It was all done. It was all said. It was so simple. And it was very low cost, especially for the kids.
That's right.
It's almost like a peace of mind.
It is.
It really
it's
is.
exactly a peace of mind. I mean, my whole thing is, why leave a negative impression when you can leave a positive impact, on your family?
There's almost a sense of responsibility. I mean, it's almost like having car insurance. I mean, it's not even close emotionally, but it's this, cover yourself, be responsible, and not have yourself like, oh, what just happened?
Right.
And if, something happened to me and I didn't have life insurance, what is my wife and kids, she's got a good job, yeah, but I mean, the expense of, one, the initial cost of having to throw me in a box and all that good stuff, and then losing my income.
That's right. That's the other part.
That's the main part.
That is.
What would she do? We have a house, we have cars, we have all this stuff we're saving for college.
That's right.
It would all be gone if I didn't have my life insurance.
That's right. So I'm trying to get people to understand that.
State that you're in. It's just like, you may have a job, but you may not be present.
And people don't understand, I in my firm belief, people understand how easy it is. And most insurance companies, they help you. When somebody passes and there's life insurance involved and there's all these costs, somebody talks with you, somebody helps you. Most of them just take care of it for you.
That's right.
Send me the bill. Mm-hmm. Send me this. Send me that. I got it. Boom, it's done. Yeah. And it's amazing. And so many people don't get that.
They don't. I just don't think they want to think about it, and even people who are like, I want to do it, they drag their feet through the process, and it's just kind of like, come on, let's dot these I's and cross these T's so that we don't have to worry about it anymore. And I've heard so many stories of people in the process of getting life insurance and then they pass away, and it's just like, God, like if they could have just acted sooner, because they do give you conditional insurance while you're going through the process. And a lot of people don't know that as well. You're still covered essentially while you're getting approved for life insurance.
I think it's interesting with the millennials now. They're so moment to moment. Is it something that's, are you getting more involved with the millennials right now and kind of talking about what's the future?
So I feel like I'm like, the crusader, right? Because I'm in the business. I'm seeing people who have life insurance through their job. Right? That's everybody's rebuttal. I got it through my employer. Like, I'm good. And it's like, they don't understand that when they leave that employer, they no longer have insurance. And if you wait till you're 65, well, people don't really do the 40-40-40 anymore, but if you wait till you're 65 and try to get insurance, you may be uninsurable. And we know that rate is going to be extremely expensive for the coverage that you may need. So I'm bringing the information back to the millennials like, hey, you guys, this is what's going on. And we need to take action and get prepared because we don't want to be, in a messed up situation when we get older, when we could have rectified the situation as we were younger.
Oh, and also self-employed. That's a whole different game, too.
Right.
It really is.
You don't even have the option.
You just brought something up, too, is huge chunk of my family's life insurance policy is through my wife's work. She works for an airline. But we also have other life insurance through our separate insurance company, just for that fact.
Right.
She's been there a long time, and she plans on retiring. Once she retires, we get it forever. But I mean, you never know.
And some people don't have that option.
She could get laid off tomorrow
That's
and we
right.
not see it.
That's right.
So
That's right. And so for entrepreneurs, because I'm an entrepreneur, obviously, and I'm just like, you guys are entrepreneurs because you want to create something different for your family. You want them to have a better life. Don't you want them to still have that whether you're here or not? What if you don't make it? You know, what if you don't make it to that level that you're trying to get to? Don't you still want them to be able to have the life that you were trying to provide them? And I understand they think it's an expense. And this article was great. We can talk about it. But trying to get people to understand like what investments are and what an asset is, because life insurance is essentially an asset. It's not an expense, and just trying to get people's mindset to change around how they view life insurance.
And the article you're talking about is if you want to feel better, try spending your money on this. And it actually goes over a couple of different things, but we actually shared it a couple of weeks ago. It's from the Wall Street Journal. And what did you take from it? Because it was actually something I sent to Ken, and obviously he sent it over to you. But it was definitely something like, I want to cover this. And definitely also the piece about giving, too, where it's, I think one of the components that we forget, in addition to being responsible, is also to give back. And this is a piece that gives back.
That's right.
It's creating a legacy. It's creating a sense of peace of mind. And it's definitely something that if we don't think of ahead of time, we'll be in some situation.
Yeah, generational wealth. That's like the key word these days, right? And so for me, the article spoke directly to me because as an entrepreneur, my time is precious. And I'm always thinking about how can I alleviate the things that I don't want to do so I can have more time doing the things that I do want to do. So I was like, oh, yeah, I want to pay for a house cleaner. I want to pay for, a personal assistant to do all those tedious tasks that take up the time that don't make me money. Because as an entrepreneur, that's pretty much how we look at time. What's going to generate us the most income, or the most, we call it revenue generating activities, to, sustain or whatnot. So I pretty much was in alignment with the article. Like, I definitely agree that I would be happier if I was able to spend my money on things that alleviated my time.
There was another article that we shared just this morning. It was actually on the Ken Edwins and Associates, Financial Associates page a couple of weeks ago, but it talks about prioritizing your time. And I think that's like the key as well. And they mentioned a new app that I was just really interested in because I love blocking my time, and it's called Desk Time. And I thought it was such a great thing where it talked about 52 minutes of work and then 17 minutes of off, or I think it was 18 minutes of off. But how important it is to have that balance of both, where you're actually giving yourself back energy in order to actually do the work that you need to do.
That's right.
And I think we forget that. And also I think it's like not having these things in place actually drains you more than having them in place where you have the sense of creativity that shows up because you have that space to actually create from.
Right.
So what do you do in your time off? Or I know you have kids as well. Like, is that something that you've taught them to do as well? And is Ken good at that too? Like, I'm going to call out Ken. Is Ken good?
I can't talk for Ken.
I'm going to call him right now. Is Ken good about that time too?
Yeah, I think as an entrepreneur, that's what we struggle with the most is like trying to figure out the balance of time, because when you're coming out of school and you're going into the workforce, they kind of, give you a time schedule already. It's already laid out for you. So you know that you have to be here, you have to do this for 8 hours, and you got to do this. And when you become an entrepreneur, it's like you have to find those systems that are going to basically help you get into alignment with your income goals and, the things that you want to be able to achieve. And so I've been on this path for the last 3 years, and I can definitely say, like, it shook me up. Like, I had to change my whole conversations. People call you and say, what are you doing? And it's like, you can't say I'm not doing anything. You can't say, oh, I'm not. Yeah. I'm not doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, no, I'm doing things. I'm setting appointments. I'm, whatever it is. Like, I had to get into the routine of basically saying that I'm doing things. And then it started to manifest. I was setting appointments. I was going out on appointments. I was doing things, researching and all that type of stuff. And so just really honing in on, okay, what do I need to do from this time to this time? I'm not a morning person, but I'm trying to get better at it. But, you know,
Well,
waking
it's
up
funny how you
earlier.
say morning time because that's like the number one thing. Like people getting up early when there's not too many people awake,
To
just
get
getting your stuff
done.
done.
That's
Oh,
right.
even planning your day. Like that was like the big one in today's article.
Mhm.
It's just like plan ahead. If you're not making a plan,
Yeah.
you're just letting the day manage
You
you.
just say, if you don't plan to fail.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fail to plan. So, you know, really get into the mindset of looking at quarters, you know, okay, the first quarter's coming up. What am I going to do in these first 90 days? And projecting and really just laying out a true foundation of how am I going to get to where I want to be. You know, I think a lot of times a lot of people don't feel fulfilled is because they don't have goals, you know, and I think entrepreneurship puts you in alignment where you have to have real goals. It's not like, oh, I just want to take a vacation. I'm just planning. I don't want to take a vacation. I'm just planning for those next 2 weeks that I can get off. You know, like you really have to have like goals where you're trying to get to, so that once you crush those goals, you have new goals and you know a renewed mindset of where you want to go next.
We're going to take a break here, but I definitely want to come back to distractions because I think that's one of my things. Like being distracted, phone, you know, like everything's just calling for attention. Even the kids sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, I spend enough time with the kids. And it's not only like have I, but it's in my head distraction. Like there's that mommy guilt. I don't know if you go through it.
I do.
But I definitely want to talk about kids, family, and come back to distractions. We'll be right back after the break.
Thank you. We got some views. Lisa. We're on a break, you guys. We'll be back. Yeah, life insurance has been interesting. It's been an interesting beast, you know?
Yeah, distraction's the one that gets me a lot of times.
Yeah.
Well, where is he?
I don't know.
He's not answering you? Uh-oh. How about Red?
Yeah, I'm about to.
Yeah, luckily I'm not easily distracted. Luckily. Because I don't watch TV.
I turned off the TV.
Yeah.
I'm such a squirrel.
Are you? I don't watch TV. I think being an entrepreneur makes you more proactive. I'm gonna come back, you guys, when we come back from our break.